Marine pollution is defined as the introduction by humans of substances or energy into the ocean that change the quality of the water or affect the physical and biological environment. There are many different substances which pollute the oceans. Many different factors determine the effect of an oil spill. The consequences of a spill is determined by its location, the quantity and concentration of the oil, the season of the year, currents, and other factors. Crude oil spills are usually more frequent and larger in volume. The little components of crude oil that do not dissolve in water harm juvenile forms of marine organisms, even in small concentrations. The remaining undissolved components, the majority of crude oil, form sticky layers on the surface which prevents the free diffusion of gases, clogs adult organisms' feeding structures, and decreases the sunlight available for photosynthesis. Most forms of marine life recover within about 5 years, as crude oil is not as highly toxic and it is biodegradable. Refined oil near the shore can be more disruptive for longer periods of time. These spills lead to higher number of marine organisms' death and environmental damage, which leads to reduced species diversities and fertilities. Some areas, after 3 decades, are not recovered from spills of refined oil. Although intertidal and shallow water subtidal communities are most sensitive to oil spills, bottom organisms are also affected. Volatile components of an oil spill eventually evaporate into the air, leaving heavier tars behind, which form into tar balls. These balls fall to the bottom and may be assimilated by bottom organisms or incorporated into the sediments. There are many methods to contain and clean up an oil spill. However, sometimes they are dangerous and damageful. Detergents used to disperse oil are especially harmful to living things. Of the statistics of all oil pollution, 45% is due to marine transportation, 32% due to routine loading, discharging, and flushing of tanker ships, and a mere 8% due to natural seeps. Between 150,000 and 450,000 marine birds are killed by routine releases from oil from tankers each year. Another water-polluting agent is heavy metals, which are a great concern because they enter the food chain. Some dangerous metals being introduced into the ocean are mercury, lead, and copper. Mercury and lead poisoning can cause brain damage and behavioral disturbances in children. Copper is also dangerous to marine organisms. It has been used in marine anti-fouling paints. Coal combustion, electrical utilities, steel and iron manufacturing, fuel oils, fuel additives, and incineration of urban refuse are the major sources of oceanic and atmospheric contamination by heavy metals. Heavy metal contaminated runoff from the land, rain of pollutants from the air, and fallout from shipwrecks pollute the ocean with dangerous metals. Statistics show that human activity releases about 5 times as much mercury and 17 times as much lead as is derived from the natural sources. The last type of marine waste I will be talking about is solid waste. Plastic is a large amount and danger of solid waste. Plastic is not biodegradable and therefore affects the ocean for long periods of time. Sea turtles often mistake plastic bags for jellyfish and die from internal blockages. Seals and sea lions starve after being muzzled by 6-pack rings or entangled by nets. Did you know that 6-pack holders will not decompose for 400 years? And each square mile of ocean surface off the northeast coast of the US has more than 46,000 pieces of plastic floating? Did you also know that 100,000 marine animals and 2 million seabirds die every year after ingesting or being caught in plastic debris? And that adding ingredients to plastic that would hasten decomposition would add 5 to 7% to the cost, but this price increase is unacceptable to industries. Please, don't let the health of our water just become another statistic.